Is it possible to still make money with apartment building real estate these days? Well, the answer is yes, but with only one little known real estate investing strategy. My name is Monica Main. I'm a serial entrepreneur and successful real estate entrepreneur as well. And I'm here to share with you that pretty much there's only one real estate investing opportunity on the planet right now because of higher interest rates and because there's really not a lot of deals or a lot of inventory, especially on the commercial side, with regard to specifically apartment building real estate. So I'm going to show you exactly how to invest in these kinds of very nuanced, very specialized, high cash flowing property deals. So I'm going to share with you this information on my laptop. So let's get to it. So I'm on LoopNet.com right now, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the for sale button. I'm going to go to multifamily right here. I'm going to go ahead and type in Atlanta, Georgia, see what they have there. And I'm just going to give you kind of my strategy on what I would do right now if I were to invest in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So let's just take a look at the different apartment buildings. I kind of have an idea of what I want, but I'm going to go ahead and keep the boundary there because I want to be as close to the city as humanly possible. And I'm going to go ahead and see what is available because there's certain kinds of apartment buildings that I really, really like. And it's usually apartment buildings, obviously, that are cheaper. Don't want to log in right now. All right, this one could probably be something that could work. So see this 8-unit apartment building listed for $875. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now you're probably wondering, okay, this is great, Monica. There's nothing really fantastic about this particular property deal. What are we looking at? All right, well, what we're looking at is we want to take a look to see what the unit mix is. Right now, it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, each one, 6 units. Okay, so now is the time for me to share with you what my strategy is when it comes to investing in multifamily real estate right now today with higher interest rates, higher property prices still, and we're still, again, waiting for the market to crack. But even, I guess, most exciting about this is that you get guaranteed government monthly income. Now, this is not federal Section 8. So if you're thinking, oh, federal Section 8, I don't want to be dealing with federal Section 8. It's what we loosely and unofficially call local Section 8. So you're probably wondering, well, what the hell is local Section 8? Well, local Section 8 is sober living, transitional community housing. Now, not every state requires a license. In fact, there's only one that I know of that requires a license. It's Arizona. So if you live in Arizona, you're not going to be able to make it work unless you have a license. But all other states, New Jersey is kind of rough, and certain parts of Ohio is rough to be able to deal with sober living transitional housing without a license. But pretty much every other area I know of, you do not need a license to be able to do sober living transitional housing, provided that you don't have medical personnel on staff, you don't have a psychiatrist coming in, you're not running group meetings, you're not doing any of that. It's just a place for them to stay and lay their head during the evening and then go to work the next day. So it's basically a bridge between them getting out of a, like a residential, kind of like them recovering from alcohol, some kind of program, rehabilitation program, getting out of that, realizing they have no place to live because they burned all their friends and family bridges. And so then they now need that one last step before they can find their own place, right? They can afford their own place. And so this is what we call transitional community housing or sober living housing. And again, you don't need a license for it, but you have to understand exactly how it works, okay? So you connect with different agencies. I talk about this in my upcoming 2-day crash course, and I'm going to be showing you everything that you need to know about this. But this, everything in a nutshell. You basically find the departments of the need this kind of transitional housing for their clientele. You have a contract with these government agencies, departments, or organizations, and then what you do is you basically get the money from them every single month, like clockwork. It's put in your bank account every single month at the beginning of the month. You don't have to worry about evictions. You don't have to worry about hiring an attorney to evict people out. None of that stuff. It's just so great, especially with the market collapsing. A lot of people are going to be worried about evictions if they're not already. In fact, evictions are spiking all around the country. The last thing you want to do as a landlord is chase down rent and have to shell out money every single month to pay your mortgage, to pay your taxes, to pay your insurance, until one day you can get your tenant out, which also you have to shell out for an attorney as well for who knows how long until you can get them out based on state law. And that just sucks. So why do any of that? Why not do it the easy way where you can make more money on every single unit? You're also getting that guaranteed monthly income from the government, and even better, you're making an impact. These people that are rebooting their lives or reestablishing themselves, I do believe in recovery. I do believe people can change, and you're also helping to facilitate that change as well. So this is why we're getting involved in a different kind of real estate, if you haven't heard of it, instead of going after the traditional real estate route. So the reason I picked this particular property in Atlanta is because we're going to do some analysis to see where we're at as far as financially on this. So it's an 8-unit apartment building. Now, the cool thing about transitional community housing is that you can put up to 2 people per bedroom, unless it's a super large bedroom, then you can put up to 3 people, but usually it's 2 people per bedroom. And you want at least 1 bathroom per 6 people, but I like to have 1 bathroom per 4 people. That's just my rule of thumb. So this apartment building, let's take a look at the unit mix. We have, see, it's over here someplace. I know I just saw it, so I'm just not seeing it. Okay, we have 8 units. I think each bedroom, yeah, so it's a 2-1. So each unit is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. You could fit up to 4 people in each one of those, provided that you don't have a massively large, like say a master bedroom. You could maybe fit up to 5 people per, but say we're just, for all intents and purposes of our conversation here, say we're going to fit 4 people per unit. So you have 6 units. I thought it said 8 units. Yes, it is 8 units. Okay. I think maybe are 2 of the units studios. I'm not really sure. I don't know why it says 8 units. I don't know why it says there's 6 down here. I think there might be a typo. So it looks like it's an 8-unit apartment building. You could easily fit 4 people per unit because each one is going to have 2 people. So 32 people. We're looking at 32 people. Now, please note that each person is worth between $800 and $1,200 a head. So let's go right down the middle and let's do $1,000 a head, because we don't know if the government departments are going to be $800 or $1,200. Usually they're somewhere in the middle. So that's $32,000 in gross revenues that you'd be making off this apartment building. That's a far cry from what you're making now. Because if you take a look at the annual gross rental income, you're not making anywhere near that. You're making $93,000 a year. And if you do the math, 32,000 times 12 months out of the year, we're looking at what? We're looking at, let's see, 350,000, little more than 350,000 is what we're looking for, what we're looking at. That's a far cry from 90,000. Okay, so your gross is going to be way different. So if you're looking for, you're like, Monica, how much am I going to be paying on this building? Let's do an analysis. So say you don't get a deal on this property at all, which I would offer 800,000 on it. Let's go ahead and offer 800,000. We're going to do 20% down. So let's see. Let's make it simple. We'll do 25% down. So our loan is going to be 600,000, even at the higher interest rate. So we put 25% down. Our monthly payment is going to be, say, $4,400 a month. You do have to pay for all the expenses in your unit. So you're going to have to pay for electricity, gas. You're going to have to also pay for water. You're going to have to pay for basic cable, which you can have shared amongst all 8 units. So say, for example, for all intents and purposes, with all your utilities and everything, you're probably looking at around $10,000 a month. It's probably going to be less, but we're just going as conservative as possible on our numbers. $10,000 a month, but you're grossing $32,000 a month. So you're still, with this apartment building right here, you are still looking at cash in your pocket around $22,000 a month with the traditional community housing strategy. Way, way different than traditional rentals. I mean, why would you ever do it any other way? Because you're getting that guaranteed monthly government income. You don't have to deal with people not paying anymore. But even better, when the economy starts to really collapse, you start to notice that there's a huge, huge spike in people not paying rent. And then you start to go underwater when you're an owner of these properties. You don't want to find yourself in that hot mess. So this is how you take a small apartment building and turn it into a traditional community sober living house where you can make so much more money on a property like this than ever dreaming of making as a traditional rental. So if you want to know exactly how to do this business, it's so exciting. I'm just like bursting at the seams because I'm just so excited about this. I have a 2-day training coming up. You can go ahead and go into the description box below. I talk all about exactly how this whole process works, how to get financing for it. Like you're like, well, Monica, easy for you. You can come up with $200,000 like that for a down payment. I can't do that. I will show you exactly how to get the money for it too, as well as doing lease options or master lease agreements or subject to deals for these kinds of properties in case you just don't have that kind of money to put into a property deal like this. So it's a pretty fantastic way of making a living in real estate right now and moving forward. So if you've always wanted to get involved in real estate investing to get max cash, max profits out of each deal, then this is the way to do it. There's no other way on the planet to do it than traditional community housing or sober living without the requirement, obviously, of having the certification or licensing. So this is just a great, great way of making tons of money in real estate right now. I have a 2-day training coming up. I highly recommend you jump on board before it's too late. If you like this video and the content, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. It helps my channel a lot. This is Monica Wayne signing off, and I will see you in the next video.